Hello and welcome to this week's update, and a very happy new year to you all. I'm sure there's a lot of yous out there that won't watch this today because you'll be suffering with a hangover or you'll be getting ready for your New Year's dinner, one or the other. But I'm wishing you a happy New Year even, and hope you've had a great Christmas, and I hope it's a safe, healthy and prosperous new year for you all. In this week's one, I wanted to go back over the year. It's been just about exactly 12 months since I started properly doing YouTube with the updates and everything. We should be just about nearly getting to 52 weeks, I think. I'm actually recording this in advance, so excuse me if I get a bit confused with the days, but at 52 weeks it will be exactly a year from the first one that I did. And when I first started, I don't think I even put it out on a Monday. It just went out on a random day. It was only later I realised the importance of sticking to a day a week so that people know when to expect it up. And it's been a massive learning curve this year. I've learnt how to edit videos a lot quicker than when I started. It used to take me days to edit just even the update when I first started. Now I can update it in about 15 minutes, get it uploaded, and it can be on YouTube. It's that quick now. But I've learnt so much. I'm just in a totally different space now compared to what I was a year ago. I've actually took a few bits out, because you know me, my pieces of paper, just to go back over some of the projects that I've done and that. If we're looking about my favourite project, it was probably the bandsaw box with the melee burr. That was probably my favourite box project this year. And there hasn't been many box projects. There's been some lathe boxes, but not many box projects. But that would have been my favourite one this year. It was a brand new design, it was drawn for me, I converted it to a box, and that feels pretty good when you've done that. But I've learned so much this year. I mean, I started off with bandsaw boxes really at the beginning of the year. I hadn't really dabbled in too much else. I'd had the lathe a short time. It was actually stuck in a little shed through the back, and it used to be so cold that it used to put me off going there. So, I mean, I had to convert the shed at the beginning of the year, take everything out so that I could get the lathe in. So, and that's really when I started to work more on the lathe. I'm nowhere near even proficient at doing the lathe, but I managed to get the pens and stuff done, and that was the important bit. Because, of course, resin casting came into it this year. That was brand new to me. So there was a lathe, then there was a resin casting. The router, I had an X-Carve at the beginning of the year, and I swapped that over and I now use a Palm router, the little DeWalt. I've learned how to do that this year. I've learned how to do so much this year. It's been a real good year for growth for me. Obviously I had a small business before starting this anyway, and it really is a small business. I work full time, so it's just what I can make apart from that. So I used to do just not actually an awful lot before this year on Etsy, because I've had Etsy for a few years now. So it was small little projects, because the bandsaw boxes they're too heavy to send. You could maybe send them in the UK, but it's whether people would want to pay the cost that it would cost me to send them. So I never really used it for the big bandsaw boxes, but I would do some small ones and things like that on there. So there was like that was happening, but probably the resin casting has really helped move my business on, because at the beginning of the year, as I've said to you before, and I'm quite open about how the business is, I don't run in a profit this year, especially not, because I've had outlays for all the equipment that I've bought, all the pressure chambers, all the lathe tools, new mics, lighting, converting this room, so much. There's been a lot of outlays for a lot of tools and stuff like that, but having the business on the side actually helped fund that. I try to use, I mean I do use my wages, but I try to really run it through the business. So so at the beginning of the year I was never going to be in a profit at the beginning of the year, throughout the year, but I had this 5-year plan in my head. I do a plan every year as to what I plan to do with the business for the year, and my plan this year was to get up and running on YouTube. I didn't think I would be doing any other projects. I thought it would just be bandsaw boxes and maybe the odd coasters and small projects like that. I didn't really think it would expand as much as it has, but yeah, the business is in a lot better place, and I actually think that maybe within the next couple of years I could be running a good profit on that side of things, which will help with the making. So so that's where that bit is. It's been, like I say, it has been just such a big year. But I wanted to go back to some of the videos because I didn't think YouTube would take off. I really didn't. I remember being very excited at having 30 people who subscribed to me, because I didn't really think it would go any bigger. Now, don't get me wrong, this is not a massive channel I have, you know, but it's 15 times more than I ever expected it would ever be. So for me, it's big. So looking back over some of the videos for this year, I went away and got some details about it so that I could share it with you, really. And the biggest viewed video that I have was my first go at making jewellery. And it was right back, it would have been early in the year, I can't even remember, I think it was March in the year. It was the first time I'd ever had a go at it. And that's actually had 20,000 views. I mean, that's astronomical amount of views for that video. And I mean, the jewellery it came out nice, but I don't know, it wasn't a spectacular video. I wasn't really that great even at doing the videos at that time. I'm not brilliant now, but I'm a bit better than I was back in March. So that was the biggest viewing video, and still continues to be viewed quite a lot. So that reached 20,000. And then the next biggest video was making your own resin blank, and it was for a pen blank, that one, and that reached 9,000 views this year. I think it was around about my first one that I ever did, and it was, those that have been watching, I think it was the one where I actually smashed up one of the blanks trying to get it out of the mould, because I decided to use a hammer on the mould. So, but those pens were very successful after, and also that blanks got 9,000 views. And then the next one down from that is making a bandsaw box. I think it was the very small box that one was, and that came in at 7,000 views. So when you're looking back through analytics, what they always sort of say to you is, well, look back and see what you made that actually got all these views. But the videos are so different, jewellery making to pen blanks to a bandsaw box. So I think it just goes to show that for me, just going along with the flow of whatever will get the views. It doesn't really matter what I make, you know, because I often worry that I make too many different projects and that, you know, people won't enjoy me making one thing and maybe just watch me for making bandsaw boxes. But really, I think it comes down to, at the end, is just to go with it. It doesn't really matter. You're all still here, and you know, so I'm just going to continue on making the random stuff that I do. I think it comes across better because I'm making something that I really want to make when I make it. Hope I'm not boring you out there today. So, my plan for next year. From January, I am going to be testing out the live. I'm going to be doing it through my mobile phone at first until I can get to grips with live. It will be the update that I'll do, and I'm not even sure how I can see comments and stuff like that. And because when I look at where everybody comes from in the world, it's roughly about the same amount of UK viewers as the United States viewers. So I'm going to look a little bit at times and stuff, but initially when I start doing these videos, they will probably just random, and they probably won't be on a Monday. That's the only thing that's going to be different. I might keep it until when I'm off a Monday so that I can do the live ones then. I think my plan would be to at least do once a month, at least one, so that I can sort of get questions off you. You might be wanting to ask me stuff that I'm maybe not answering, so that you can ask me those questions on the live one, because I eventually hope to have it set up through my computer so that I'll be able to see everybody's comments coming through. So it'll be testing. You might find that I'll do a video and it just cuts off in the middle because I've pressed the wrong button or something like that. So it's going to be about learning, but I think going live is the way forward. So so there'll be a bit of testing the next few months, and then I hope to get into, say by about March, maybe get into a good routine of what I'm going to be doing. So you might see there'll be odd videos just coming up, the odd 5-minute, me just being online. If there's anybody online, I'm quite happy to answer any questions and stuff like that, but it'll be just testing out what's going on. So that's definitely going to be happening. The next thing that's going to be happening is some sort of furniture making. I've spoke to you before about plans I have plans in my head, and then when I go and see videos like Average Joe Whittaker, Average Joe, when I go and see his videos, it really makes me want to make furniture even more, because he shows me way round the problems that I'm thinking I'm going to have. So I should definitely be making, I want a table for my living room, and I need a table for it in here, just like a coffee table, because eventually when I do get the sofa bed and stuff in, I want it to be a little bit like a room. So yeah, so you are going to see me furniture making when I pluck up the courage to do it, without fear of ruining a big slab of wood or something. So that's where I'm going. Also, I'm just over 1,800 viewers today, and I project that maybe around about January time I should hit £2,000. 2,000 subscribers, and I'm going to do a giveaway for the 2,000 subscriber one. It is going to probably be some pen blanks I've made, or some of the little bits and pieces. There will be several prizes. It will be stuff I've made, so I'm sorry about that. So yeah, that's definitely going to be coming up. It'll be in January. I'm suspecting it might be sort of maybe the second week in January, that I'll be getting prepared ready for that. So that's definitely going to come up, and maybe some of these pen blanks that I've actually been making over the year, I'm going to be giving some of those away. Yeah, the main thing that has come out of this year has been the rings. I made that jewellery video just because I wanted to try it, and then it seemed to expand on that. I get quite excited making the rings. I really love making them. It's a very enjoyable project to make. It's something that doesn't take too many tools to make, doesn't take too much time. You know, if you don't include the time for waiting for the epoxy, well, the Alumilite to cure. But they have also been the most successful for my business this year. Through the Etsy store, the run up to Christmas has been phenomenal amount of rings that I've sold, which is great. I'm not all that far from being completely sold out of those, but I always have. I've got a little box here and it's full of ones ready to be buffed and shined. So that's been the most successful thing this year, has been the rings. And like I say, I've really enjoyed making them as well. So I think I've probably talked enough. 15 minutes. I've talked far too much. So all I want to say is a massive thank you to every single one of you out there for continuing to watch me. Thank you to all the new subscribers who have come along. I will be continuing the weekly updates. There will be something every week. I will be continuing the one project a week from after the new year. I'm currently running obviously 2 projects a week, but it will go back down to 1 project a week, and then on the odd Saturday I will probably do spells where I do extras, but I think I don't want to promise that in case I get stuck with the time to make the projects. So there will definitely be a project continuing every single week. And yeah, thank you very much for working with me through this year, through all the really poor videos, which has been quite a few, especially the updates, because sometimes when I come to an update I've not done enough preparing, and that doesn't help. And I think just for myself I see it coming across when I make the video, but thank you for sticking by me. I do try to do my best every week to make sure that it's enough for you. So have a great day, all of yous, or I hope it was a nice day if you're watching this after. Stay safe, be healthy, and let's get making. It's the new year. Thanks very much for watching.